everyone, welcome to our channel. So in this video I am going to explain you about the steps of two-way classification. So before that you have to thorough with these 12 steps. That is, first we have to set null hypothesis. Second step, table 1. Third step, table 2. And fourth, CF. And fifth, SSC. Sixth, MSC. Seventh, SSR. Eighth, MSR. Ninth, SST. 10th, SSE. And 11th, MSE. And 12th F ratio we have to find. When we thorough with this steps in order wise, you will get easy to do the problem of two-way ANOVA. So first we can go. First step, that is what I told, set up hypothesis. We have to set null hypothesis. Second step, we have to present the data in the tabular form, that is table 1. The data what will be given in the problem, that we have to convert into tabular form, that we will call it's a table 1. And next we have to present sum of squares of data. Means what will find the tabular form of table 1, the data, so that we have to squares, that is table 2. So fourth step, we have to calculate correction factor, that is CF is equals to t square divided by n, where t is equals to grand total of observation and n is equals to total number of observations. So the fifth step is calculation of SSC. SSC means sum of squares between the columns. So SSC is equals to total of first column whole square divided by number of observation plus total number of second column. See me second column here. I have written short. See, you have to write full while writing. So total of second column whole square divided by number of observation. Up to how many columns will there? Up to there we have to write. Up to means nth, up to nth. So after that minus correction factor. CF means it's a correction factor. So next, sixth step, calculation of MSC. MSC means it's a mean sum of squares between the columns. MSC is equals to SSC divided by degrees of freedom. SSC means, as I told, it is a sum of squares between the columns divided by degrees of freedom, C minus 1. So let us move on to seventh step. So seventh step, calculation of SSR. SSR, sum of squares between the rows. So SSR is equals to total of first row whole square divided by number of observations and plus total of second row whole square divided by number of observation up to nth column. If nth row, what will they have to write there? Minus correction factor. So next, eighth step, calculation of MSR. MSR means sum of squares between the rows. So MSR formula is equals to SSR divided by R minus 1. R minus 1 is a degrees of freedom and SSR is sum of squares between the rows. So ninth step, calculation of the total sum of squares. It means SST. So SST is equals to grand total of sum of squares minus correction factor. So next, 10th step, calculation of residual value. SSE means sum of squares of errors. SSE is equals to SST, what we have calculated in the before step, that we have to take, minus SSC. SSC plus SSR, what we will find that calculate, that we have to apply here. Next, calculation, 11th step, calculation of SSE. MSE. MSE means mean sum of squares of errors. MSE is equals to SSC. The previous step, what we have calculated SSC, that value you have to write here, minus degrees of freedom. More degrees of freedom we are going to take here. In the last step, calculation of F ratio. F ratio between the columns and between the rows. F ratio between the columns formula is MSC divided by MSE. And F ratio between the rows is equals to MSR. This is rows divided by MSE. This is errors. That values you have to take to calculate the F ratio. And at the last, we have to present the ANOVA table. Like what we have calculated, all the values we have to write here. That is square of variations between columns, between rows and residual value. So in the heading of sum of squares, we have to write SSE value, SSR value and SSE value. So degrees of freedom, C minus 1, and in this R minus 1. At last residual, both we have to multiply and write the answer. And mean sum of squares under this MSC, MSR and MSE. Columns, rows, errors. We have to write mean sums. And F ratio between columns, what we will calculate? MSC divided by MSE. That value we have to write here. And between rows, MSR divided by MSE. This is the way what steps we have to follow in the two-way classification ANOVA. So with the example of two-way classification, you'll better understand the problem of two-way classification. So for more updates, you can subscribe to our channel. If you have any doubt, you can comment in a comment box. Thank you.